This is Lacy Robertson, the hardest working woman in mortgage and real estate nationwide, and I'm here to bring you this week's report of California companies that will be laying off a significant amount of workforce. Now, you're saying, hey, what does that have to do with mortgage and real estate? I'm glad you asked, and I have an answer. So, it was many, many years ago. I was super excited. I was getting ready to purchase a piece of property. Woohoo! And the seller was excited. They were getting ready to get the proceeds of the sale of their property. Woohoo! I had signed loan documents. And if you've ever purchased a piece of property, normally when you sign those loan documents, there is no rescission period, none. So you can't back out. It's go time. So I sign loan documents. I go back to work hours later, and I find out that myself and 399 other people were getting laid off that day. You can only imagine what was going through in my mind. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have a job. I can't buy this house. How am I gonna pay the mortgage? Everything was going in my mind, racing, um, super, super fast. So I get on the phone. I call my mortgage broker at the time. I call my real estate broker at the time. I said, look, I just lost my job. I'm going to fax you over the paperwork. Yes, I said fax because primarily we email now. We fax maybe some of you guys from time to time, but email is a even faster way to get things sent over. So, anyways, I told her, look, you can't fund this loan. I don't have a job. I faxed them over the paperwork saying that I was getting laid off that day. And thankfully, I was able to pull out of the transaction, but not without a cost. So I lost my down payment. I lost the money I paid for an appraisal, for a home inspection, a pest inspection, all of that. And so there's two major reasons why I share this information. One, I don't want you to be caught off guard. And I also, what would you do differently if there was a possibility that you might get laid off? Don't you know, if I knew there was a possibility that my company is laying off and my name might be on the list, like I wouldn't have purchase or go through the process of purchasing a home in that moment. I probably would have waited to see if my name was on the list. So what would you do differently? Would you not go on that lavish vacation or shopping spree or buy that new house or new car? Would you dust off your resume, put some feelers out there? Would you start your new business that you've always been contemplating of doing or writing that new book? Like, what is it that you would do differently if there was a possibility that you might get laid off? So that's the first reason why I share this information. The second reason is I want you to know that you don't have to lose your house just because you lost your job or you're facing a financial hardship. Like, I've literally been helping clients for years lower their mortgage payment, make it more affordable so they don't have to exhaust all their savings trying to make their mortgage payment each month. So I've been in the mortgage and real estate industry over 18 years. Okay. Over 18 years. I help people sell property, buy property, finance property, refinance property. But this is the deal. When life deals them lemons, and it will happen to the best of us. I'm not saying being laid off may happen to you. I'm saying life does deal us lemons. It's not always going to be, what do they say, hunky dory. Everything's not going to go as planned. We're going to have some seasons in our life that are less favorable, but I help people make lemonade. So if they have a loss of income due to a death, divorce, illness, injury, layoff, or natural disaster, I come in and I help them avoid losing their property. There's temporary options, there's more permanent options. I help them avoid foreclosure by any means necessary. So temporary options may be a forbearance, right? Or repayment plan. There's more permanent options like a loan modification or refinance, restructure your bills, pay some bills off. Like, there's so many options available, but they're not automatic. So, you got to reach out to me, right? The best way to get a hold of me is 714-914-7254. Again, that's 714-914-7254. You can always visit me at modifymenow.com. But before I get into this list that I like to share every Monday at 5 a.m., of California companies that will be laying off a significant amount of workforce, I want to share with you what I was able to help my client obtain. Um, that was facing a financial hardship. So, prayerfully, you'll be able to see my screen in just a moment. I think you can see it now. My client had Ocwen Loan Servicing. I'm going to highlight over here to the right. Their previous mortgage payment was $2,835.53. It included principal and interest only, okay? So they still had to pay their property taxes and property insurance separately. They had an interest rate of 7.875, a rather high. So they contacted me. They were going through some challenge. They had a loss of income, and I was able to modify their mortgage. Okay, modify their mortgage. Now I'm highlighting what I was able to do for them. I modified their mortgage payment, got it lowered. I literally got their mortgage payment down to $1,174.07. That included principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. And they got an interest rate of 2%. Now, this interest rate was adjustable. Their last interest rate was fixed, but this is what I was able to negotiate with the bank. I said, give them 2% as long as you can. And so that's what the bank did. And then their interest rate would gradually tick up, but it did not exceed 4.250. Zero. Okay. So it didn't exceed 4.25, still significantly less than that 7.875. Okay, so this adjustable rate term that I was able to negotiate was amazing. So I literally helped the client save, oh, not to mention the $1,174.07. Do you see this here highlighted? It included principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. So I literally help my clients save $2,118.04 a month. Now, what would you do if you were able to save $2,118.04 a month on your mortgage? Tell me now. What would you do? Would that help you? Okay. Those are the kind of things that I'm doing for my clients. Okay. Those are the kind of things that I help people with if they're facing a financial hardship. You literally don't have to lose your house just because you lost your job. You want to stay in your home. I am there to help you. Restructure your mortgage, pay off some debt, do a whole analysis on your situation and help you stay in your home if that's your desire. Okay, so let's get into this list. I have, let me tell you right now what we're working with. I have about 84, 85. I have 85 entries. It's not 85 different companies because several companies are laying off and they have multiple locations, or they're laying off in different days. So bear with me. We're going to get through this list as quickly as possible. Okay, so let's get started. Now, I give you these companies in alphabetical order. I give you the name of the company that's laying off. I give you the date they're laying off. I let you know if this layoff is permanent, if it's temporary, if the closure is permanent, if the closure is temporary. And then I tell you how many and the location, the address of where they are laying off these individuals. So listen, if I pass the letter that your company starts with, but you've been hearing whispers and you're not sure it's true, and you want to know if they're rumors, you may want to check previous videos because I may have covered that information already. So again, these are California companies that will be laying off a significant amount of workforce, where we received and processed their notice between February 13th and February 26th of this year. So let's get started. March 12th, Ajinomoto Foods North America Inc. is laying off permanently 116 people at 2395 American Avenue in Hayward. April 15th, Benchmark Precision Technologies is closing permanently. They're laying off 42 people at 42701 Christie Street in Fremont. You have May 1st, Burke Williams is closing permanently, laying off 68 people at 845 Market Street, Suite 510 in San Francisco. April 25th, Castle Oaks Golf Club is laying off permanently 50 people at 1,000 Castle Oaks Drive in Ione, California, of course. April 22nd, City National Bank is laying off permanently 12 people at 555 South Flower Street in Los Angeles. Then on that same day, April 22nd, City National Bank is laying off permanently 5 people at 350 South Grand Avenue in Los Angeles. These next entries is from Clarion Management Inc. Okay, Clarion Management Inc. is laying off several people at different locations, so bear with me. On April 20th, closing permanently, Clarion Management Inc. is closing permanently, laying off 5 people at 1675 East G Street in Ontario. You have April 20th, Clarion Management Inc. closing permanently, laying off 5 people at 570 Knoll View Court, number 205 in Palmdale. April 20th, Clarion Management Inc. closing permanently, laying off 5 people at 1935 East Garvey Avenue North in West Covina. You have April 20th, Clarion Management Inc. closing permanently, laying off 6 people at 1725 East G Street in Ontario. You have April 20th, Clarion Management Inc. closing permanently, laying off 14 people at 8965 Research Drive, first floor in Irvine. You have April 20th, Clarion Management Inc. closing permanently, laying off 2 people at 1213 West Street in Corona. April 20th, Clarion Management Management Inc. is closing permanently, laying off 6 people at 29605 Solana Way in Temecula. April 20th, Clarion Management Inc. closing permanently, laying off 4 people at 2500 Fair Oaks Boulevard in Sacramento. You have April 20th, Clarion Management Inc. closing permanently, laying off 3 people at 14450 El Evado Road in Victorville. April 20th, Clarion Management Inc. closing permanently, laying off 1 person at 1369 North Willow Avenue in Rialto. April 20th, Clarion Management Inc. closing permanently, laying off 1 person at 15252 Seneca Road in Victorville. April 20th, Clarion Management Inc. closing permanently, laying off 3 people at 1203 East Central Avenue in Redlands. You have April 20th, Clarion Management Inc. closing permanently, laying off 6 people at 1335 West Foothill Boulevard in Upland. April 20th, Clarion Management Inc. closing permanently, laying off 6 people at 2001 North Rancho Road in Colton. April 20th, Clarion Management Inc. closing permanently, laying off 8 people at 14374 Borrego Road in Victorville. And April 20th, Clarion Management Inc. closing permanently, laying off 1 person at 2201 Statham Boulevard in Oxnard. April 15th, Consolidated Entertainment LLC, Reading Cinemas, is closing permanently. They're laying off 33 people at 4665 Claremont Drive in San Diego. April 30th, Corteva AgriScience LLC is laying off permanently 26 people at 901 Lover Ridge Road in Pittsburgh. The next entries are for Forever 21. Okay, so Forever 21 is closing permanently some of their locations. So on April 21st, Forever 21 is laying off permanently 358 people at 110 East 9th Street, A500 in Los Angeles. Then you have April 23rd, Forever 21 is closing permanently, laying off 63 people at 3700 Galleria at Tyler Mall in Riverside. You have April 23rd, Forever 21 closing permanently, laying off 70 people at 4701 Mills Circle in Ontario. You have April 25th, Forever 21 closing permanently, laying off 20 people at 20 City Boulevard West, Suite R11 in Orange. Forever 21 is closing permanently, laying off 17 people at 12482 North Main Street in Rancho Cucamonga. You have Forever 21 on April 25th is closing permanently, laying off 21 people at 5060 Montclair Plaza Lane, number 2121 in Montclair. April 25th, Forever 21 closing permanently, laying off 24 people at 2800 North Main Street, number 201 in Santa Ana. April 25th, Forever 21 closing permanently, laying off 30 people at 2326 Lakewood Center Mall in Lakewood. April 25th, Forever 21 closing permanently, laying off 55 people at 200 Los Cerritos Mall in Cerritos. Now we have April 29th, 4 Points by Sheraton is closing permanently. They're laying off 181 people at 9750 Airport Boulevard in Los Angeles. Wow, that's a hotel. March 28th, Genesis Supreme RV Inc. is laying off permanently 18 people at 3411 North Paris Boulevard in Paris. Now, on April 21st, Harvest Meat Company Inc. is closing permanently at 2 different locations. So they're laying off 62 people at 2900 Ayers Avenue in Vernon. And then on April 21st, Harvest Meat Company Inc. is closing permanently, laying off 109 people at 1022 Bay Marina Drive, number 106 in National City. April 14th, Illumina Inc. is laying off permanently 96 people at 5200 Illumina Way in San Diego. Now, the next several entries is for Kaiser Foundation Hospitals. Please bear with me. They are laying off several people at different locations, all on April 25th. But let me get through this, okay? Because there's a lot of locations here, but I got you covered. So, April 25th, Kaiser Foundation Hospitals laying off permanently 3 people at 1701 East Shore Highway in Berkeley. April 25th, Kaiser Foundation Hospitals laying off 1 person at 1705 East Shore Highway, Berkeley. April 25th, Kaiser Foundation Hospitals laying off permanently 1 person at 1725 East Shore Highway in Berkeley. Kaiser Foundation Hospitals laying off permanently 1 person at 1750 2nd Street in Berkeley. April 25th, Kaiser Foundation Hospitals laying off permanently 1 person at 3100 Dublin Boulevard in Dublin. April 25th, Kaiser Foundation Hospitals laying off permanently 1 person at 1800 Harrison Street in Oakland. April 25th, Kaiser Foundation Hospitals laying off permanently 1 person at 1950 Franklin Street in Oakland. April 25th, Kaiser Foundation Hospitals laying off permanently 14 people at 1 Kaiser Plaza in Oakland. April 25th, Kaiser Foundation Hospitals laying off permanently 10 people at 4460 Hacienda Drive, Building A in Pleasanton. April 25th, Kaiser Foundation Hospitals laying off permanently 1 person at 1515 Newell Avenue in Walnut Creek. April 25th, Kaiser Foundation Hospitals laying off permanently 2 people at 501 Lennon Lane in Walnut Creek. April 25th, Kaiser Foundation Hospitals laying off permanently 2 people at 12254 Bellflower Boulevard in Downey. You have April 25th, Kaiser Foundation Hospitals laying off permanently 1 person at 9333 Imperial Highway in Downey. April 25th, Kaiser Foundation Hospitals laying off 1 person at 25825 Vermont Avenue in Harbor City. April 25th, Kaiser Foundation Hospitals laying off permanently 2 people at 1515 North Vermont Avenue in Los Angeles. April 25th, Kaiser Foundation Hospitals laying off permanently 1 person at 75 North Fair Oaks Avenue in Pasadena. April 25th, Kaiser Foundation Hospitals laying off permanently 3 people at 99 South Oakland Avenue in Pasadena. April 25th, Kaiser Foundation Hospitals laying off permanently 8 people at 393 East Walnut Street in Pasadena. April 25th, Kaiser Foundation Hospitals laying off permanently one person at 200 North Lewis Street in Orange. April 25th, Kaiser Foundation Hospitals laying off permanently one person at 2120 Professional Drive in Roseville. April 25th, Kaiser Foundation Hospitals laying off permanently one person at 9961 Sierra Avenue in Fontana. April 25th, Kaiser Foundation Hospitals laying off permanently two people at 8954 Real San Diego Drive in San Diego. April 25th, Kaiser Foundation Hospitals is laying off permanently two people at 9455 Fairmont Mesa Boulevard in San Diego. April 25th, Kaiser Foundation Hospitals laying off permanently one person at 1200 East El Camino Real in South San Francisco. April 25th, Kaiser Foundation Hospitals laying off permanently one person at 5901 Optical Court in San Jose. And April 25th, Kaiser Foundation Hospitals laying off permanently one person at 4601 Dale Road in Modesto. Now we're done with Kaiser Foundation Hospitals. On April 30th, I'm going to butcher this name. I know I am. I apologize in advance. Okay. It's Kuehne and Nagel, Nagel Inc. is laying off permanently 59 people at 2525 West 190th Street. Mail Stop 22, 1KN in Torrance. April 20th, you have Neovia Logistics Distribution LP is closing permanently, laying off 145 people at 2289 East Orangethorpe Avenue in Fullerton. April 15th, Niagara Bottling LLC is laying off permanently 73 people at 1440 Bridge Gate Drive in Diamond Bar. April 21st, Nikola Corporation is laying off several people at different locations. So I'm going to get through these. It's not as many as Kaiser. However, they are laying off several people at different locations. So on April 21st, Nikola Corporation is laying off permanently 7 people at 13443 Freeway Drive in Santa Fe Springs. You have April 21st, Nikola Corporation laying off permanently one person at 12215 Telegraph Road, Suite 210 B in Santa Fe Springs. April 21st, Nikola Corporation laying off permanently 12 people, 2267 West Gaylord Street in Long Beach, April 21st, Nikola Corporation laying off permanently 16 people at 2445 East Gosty Road in Ontario. April 21st, Nikola Corporation laying off permanently 14 people at 1466 El Molino Street in Fontana. And we have April 21st, Nikola Corporation laying off permanently one person at 917 Stillwater Road in West Sacramento. April 21st, Nucor Buildings Group West LLC is closing permanently, laying off 70 people at 1700 East Louise Avenue in Lathrop. April 14th, Panera LLC is closing permanently, laying off 72 people at 1505 DuPont Avenue, Suite H in Ontario. And on April 14th, Panera LLC is also closing permanently, laying off 55 people at 2414 Boeing Way, Suite 200 in Stockton. April 21st, Parker Engine Mobile is laying off permanently 20 people at 1640 Cummins Drive in Modesto. You have April 9th, Rite Aid is closing permanently, laying off 23 people at 211 East 17th Street in Costa Mesa. April 21st, Smart and Final Logistics LLC is laying off permanently 194 people at 2360 Cottonwood Avenue in Riverside. And on April 21st, Smart and Final Stores LLC is laying off permanently 23 people at 2360 Cottonwood Avenue in Riverside. So they separated those two, but they're laying off at both locations, at the same location, different numbers of people. April 21st, Star Surgical Company is laying off permanently 110 people at 1911 Walker Avenue in Monrovia. You have April 21st, Star Surgical Company laying off permanently 5 people at 27121 Aliso Creek Road, Suite 100 in Aliso Viejo. April 26th, WB Games Inc. and Warner Media Services LLC is laying off permanently 51 people at 2742-2752 State Street in Carlsbad. You have April 16th, Wood Candle Wick Technologies, DBA is Makesy, is closing permanently. Hopefully I said that correctly. Makesy. Closing permanently, laying off 74 people at 9750 Irvine Boulevard, Suite 106 in Irvine. And last but not least, you have April 21st, Zendesk Inc. is laying off permanently 51 people at 181 South Fremont Street in San Francisco. And that concludes our list, this week's list of California companies that will be laying off a significant amount of workforce where we received and processed their notice between February 13th and February 26th. Now remember, if you've had a loss of income due to a death, divorce, illness, injury, layoff, or natural disaster, there are options available. You don't have to lose your house just because you lost your job or you're facing a financial hardship due to any one of those things. There are options available. They're not automatic, so you have to pick up the phone and dial 714-914-7254. I'm Lacy Robertson, the hardest working woman in mortgage real estate nationwide. I look forward to working with you and for you. And until then, have a blessed day.